My mic was off, but good morning. Happy Friday. It happens to all of us, right? All right, let's get going. I think we are running everywhere. Hi, Patrick. Thank you for being here. You were super early. All right, I think everything is in order. All right, so welcome to this week's class. I felt as we're starting, it might feel super early to start thinking about 2024, but this is a good time to start thinking about it if you haven't yet. So I thought let's take it back to basics a little bit and let's talk about what's actually working on Instagram. So I'm gonna get through the boring stuff first, right? So Reels are working on Instagram. Video content has always been, I'm not gonna say always, video content in the last few years has outperformed regular content. Now, is that because the networks are pushing it? I don't know, but people tend to watch short videos. There's a reason why people go on YouTube. There's a reason why TikTok became so popular. So people are into video content. If you haven't dived into video content yet, it could be a little intimidating, but I promise that once you start practicing creating videos, going live, you will start to get more and more comfortable and it will become easier. Patrick is here and he has recently dived into video content specifically on X, Twitter, and he is seeing great results from it. So it can be a little intimidating, but I promise, again, the more you do it, the more you'll get into it. Also with Reels, if you've noticed on my account, they don't have to be super complicated. It could be coffee, they don't have to be long, right? So I think a fear is, what am I going to talk about? How do I come across on camera? And there's so many ways around not being in front of the camera or not having to be in front of the camera, although I suggest we see your face every once in a while if you are a personal brand or if your business really depends on you. Let's see what's behind there. People love to know what's behind the scenes, what's going on in your day-to-day. Although it's boring to you, it might not be boring to other people. So if you've not yet gotten into that world because it seems a little intimidating, those are my tips. As always, try to simplify it so that you feel comfortable, but also think about what's going to work for your audience. So it might be boring for them to see like text scrolling on a screen, but if you come in and explain something, that's a simple video. You just get on there, talk for 30 seconds, then you're done. Don't overcomplicate it. Or like me, you can use moments from your day-to-day to create video content and get your message out there. So Reels, yes, they are working. I also, with that said, and this is something that I'll always stand by, when something's shiny and new, the networks want you to use it. They want you, so they'll reward you for it, right? So when Reels first started, and now as they're pushing Reels, that's what they want you to do, and you'll get rewarded. So if you're early to use a tool, you're probably going to see good results from it. Also, the network right now they're pushing Reels, so try it. If it doesn't work for you, it doesn't work for you. I think people also get caught up in like, what am I supposed to be doing? Well, Reels don't work for everybody. I've seen so many accounts that might only do carousels. They're doing fantastic because, and you'll see at the end when we loop back around, but it really has to do with what your audience is into. So if you're seeing a slowdown, if you're getting bored with your content, if you just want to try something different that you haven't done, yes, give Reels a fair chance. But if your audience was engaging with you more when you post carousel, then why are you doing Reels? Then you should stick to the carousels, right? So it's also about knowing our audience. And I'm always going to bring it back to that point because it's very, very important. How do you do the voiceover filter when speaking? There's a button. I'm not talking on here as much about details on how to do things because you can Google that information, but there's a button, it's a little microphone once you upload a video, and you should be able to press, and it does voiceover. I hope that's helpful, but also there's a ton of guides that can walk you through that. Later.com is a great resource for all things Instagram. So they probably have a tutorial on there. All right, the second thing that we're going to talk about, and this is the boring stuff. The second thing we're going to talk about is collaborations. Recently, Instagram actually updated their collaboration tool so that now you can use two accounts and yourself. So 3 accounts total for doing collaborations on Instagram. Why should you do collaborations? Borrowing someone else's audience is the fastest way to grow besides using ads. So if you find someone who's aligned with your brand and you can do a collaboration with them, that exposes your Instagram account to their entire audience. And this, the stuff I'm telling you now, yes, is it Instagram specific, but it can also be used on other networks and to grow your business and your presence in general, right? When you collaborate and both parties are marketing this one piece of content, that's double the eyes or more, depending on how big that other account is or the other 2 that you're collaborating with. So collaborations, Instagram's also, since it just got an update and came out, Instagram is pushing collaborations. Again, quick win when it posts, but it has to be the right collaborator. It has to make sense for your audience. If not, you're just going to get a bunch of eyes that don't really matter. And that's not what we're about here. Every time you do anything, I just want you to be intentional and think it all the way through before you decide that it's right for you, because it might not be. But with that instance specifically, just because someone has a bigger audience than you doesn't mean that it's necessarily the same target audience. So pay attention to who you're collaborating with and if it makes sense. But that's a quick way to get a win. Okay. And the number 3 thing, and the most important thing that's working on Instagram, and not just now, it's the one thing that's going to work for you across any network, anytime. It's foolproof. It's the one thing that's not changing. It's the one thing that I've concentrated on the 15 years I'm doing this. And this one thing leads everything else. And it's to build community. Building community is going to be fail proof, algorithm proof, all the proofs. Because when you actually concentrate on building community and not just collecting followers, that's when you get people that care. That's when you get the people that are going to root for you. Those are where you get your people that are going to click through and purchase, or click through and read an article, or click through to get a discovery call, just work with you in general. And there's so many ways that you can build community. And Instagram, again, has gotten new features like the broadcast channels, where it's kind of similar to a Facebook group. It's one group of people that you can send messages to. I don't think you can reply back, so it's a little one-sided when it comes to that. But it's a good way to keep people informed. If you join Mosseri's group on Instagram, he's constantly sending updates. So it's a good thing to just keep people in the loop if you have a lot of things going on. There are now chats within Instagram that you can just specify to a specific group of people, subscribers, so people can pay you for extra content. But you can build community just on your account. And what goes into that? Well, first of all, it starts with your content. And the reason why I stopped there is because I wanted to say to get clarity on things. So you have to be clear about who you want to connect with, but you also have to be clear on what your message is, how you help them. Because the way we build community is making a connection, letting people know that you understand them, that you get what they're going through. So you have to know your audience. You have to be super clear on who that audience is, what they're going through so that you can relate to them. And not in a creepy, like manipulative way. But I'm sure a lot of you that started businesses is because you have a solution. Either you've been through a pain before or you've seen people struggling with something, and that's why you created your product, your service. So think about who that person is and engage with them. Meet them where they are. Let them know you know what they're going through. It's not one-sided. So you have to show up. You build community by showing up. So that's why I'm always trying to move you guys into action, because if you get overwhelmed and you do nothing, nothing's going to change. But community is so strong. All the algorithms, stories feed has an algorithm. The Explore feed has an algorithm. Your home feed has an algorithm. All the algorithms point towards community, right? You get rewarded, or your content gets shown to more people once you get that initial engagement, once the Instagram sees, oh, people actually care what this person's talking about. So they all always point towards community. So work on actually connecting with the people that you need to be connecting with, and not just posting a random thing because you need to get a post up, or you just need engagement. You're not really looking to help people, to add value. So yeah, that's what's working on Instagram right now. You guys know I like to keep these super quick. So Reels, try Reels out. I've been using more Reels recently. How did I get over it? I got super clear on what I needed to do. I knew that I needed to show up more, really be here for you guys. This is an even step further that I took with going live, but I knew that I had to show up more. So I made the Reels super simple for myself. If you go on my feed, it's literally snippets of my life. I'm pouring my coffee. It's stuff that I'm doing anyway, right? I'm making coffee every morning. I get myself flowers, and I do have to sit there and cut the stems and trim them and take care of them. So I was like, hey, I'm already doing this. What a better way to connect, show people what my interests are, but also serve them information and value about using Instagram and social media to grow their businesses. Right? So find those moments in your everyday life that you can just prop a phone up and film. And all you need is 5 to 7 seconds. Literally, all you need is 5 to 7 seconds of video, and that's a reel. It can just be you talking 30 seconds. That's all it is. That's all it is. It's 30 seconds. You're on camera, you pop it up, you're ready to go. I know it's not that simple, but with enough clarity, it can get boiled down to that, or with enough planning and foresight and knowing where you're resisting and where to fix that, that will help you show up more, post more often. Collaborations, if you can find people to collaborate with, it's great. I mean, in general, especially if you're building a personal brand, if you get on podcasts, if you are featured on a website, these are all great ways to grow your businesses. That all falls under the category of collaborations, but specifically on Instagram, doing those collaborative posts can expose you to a new audience and grow your audience while you're at it. And then the last one is, again, building community. Show up, ask people questions, serve your community the way they want to. Make sure you're giving them valuable information, valuable content that you're adding to their lives. And again, just have conversations. It shouldn't be so one-sided. It shouldn't just be talking at you. I need to let you know that I understand what you're going through, where you are, and that I have a solution. Right? Whether the solution is in this video, or maybe it's that I need you to read the rest of a blog post, but I have the solution. I understand what you're going through. Connect with people, ask them questions, right? Find out how they like to learn. Maybe you can adjust your content a little bit, and that one tweak is what makes the difference, right? And then the last piece that I'm going to talk about is analytics. This is the bonus. I wasn't planning on talking about this, but if you're kind of lost and you're not sure which way to go right now, take a look at your analytics. Take a look at what's working. once you try something, let's say you start trying Reels, or you've done a couple collaborations, take a look at your analytics and see what's working. That's a hint there. Like if you ask a question and your audience isn't quite at the point where they answer you yet, well, what type of content is better for you? It's all sitting there in analytics, so get yourself familiar with that. All right, so I hope that was helpful. If you have any questions, put them in the chat. Hi, Brent. Thank you for being here. All right, so I don't think I have any questions coming through. So we'll end it here. But thank you for being here. I will see you on my next live. I have more stuff coming, but I won't reveal too much. But thank you all for being here. I hope you're here for the next one, and have a great week. If you're watching this on the replay, go ahead and leave a comment. If you're watching this on the Facebook group or on LinkedIn, leave a comment, and I make sure that I check in and answer these. So have a good day.